got a question on YouTube about a small time mom and pop landlord that has a couple of single family homes in Sacramento. Had a question about how much notice or time does he have to give to tell his tenants that he's not going to renew their lease term. The lease runs basically 364 days in this scenario. Hi, my name is Rob Wells. I'm the Landlord Warrior on TikTok and YouTube. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. So I will preface this answer based on a few things. So for non-exempt or exempt landlords under California's Tenants Protection Act, you don't have to, you can basically insist on your tenant vacating at the end of their lease term, particularly if the tenant has been at the property less than 1 year. In our scenario for this landlord, assuming he didn't have any localized eviction control in his city, he could, under the Tenants Protection Act, tell his tenant, hey, you have to leave at the end of the lease because the lease is for less than 1 year, 364 days. In this case, it was a lease done like June 15th of the previous year, and it will expire June 14th this year. So that's 364 days. That's less than a year, assuming the tenant hasn't lived at that property, prior to this lease. You could insist on a tenant, vacating. There is no formal notice you have to give about that. You might want to give a courtesy letter indicating that the lease won't be renewed. I generally would tell a landlord, hey, do it as soon as you know that you're not going to renew the lease. If you can give at least 60 days notice to your tenant as a courtesy, that's kind of what I would do. Now, I will preface this because this landlord actually is in the city of Sacramento per his question here. Sacramento does have an eviction ordinance. However, it excludes single dwellings. So your single family homes, those are exempt under their ordinance. But the moral of the story is you need to double check to see if you have a local ordinance. And better yet, if you're not sure about what you have to do and so forth, might be a good time to consult with legal counsel, landlord's counsel, to just advise you about how to go about your termination of tenancy, because a few factors could change. Like if you're in a city that actually regulates these types of leases, that type of deal, you're going to want to know what the rules are. Okay. And then also too, you don't want to make a mistake as well, because some cities now are requiring that landlords enter into leases that are 12 months or greater. So you got to need to know your local listings. But in this scenario, assuming this person didn't live at the property prior to this lease agreement, you're exempt under the California's Tenants Protection Act, and you can insist on the tenant vacating at the end of the lease. Listen, if you have questions or comments, put them down below. Also, to landlords, property managers, if you need help terminating the tenancy or you need to consult, figure out like, hey, is what you're doing legal? Our information is down below. Until next time, folks, I'll see you then. Okay, thanks.